Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Yancey. This is your Wrexham News and Update show for Friday, June 28th. Yes, it is a Friday, and we have made it to the weekend. Thank you all very much for coming in, and we're going to blast right in. We got some fixture news coming out. We got some of our competitors signing some players. Oh shoot! Hold on, as that happens. There you go. Text messages right off the bat. There you go. I'm sure that means shut the damn door. All right, there we go. We're getting right into it today. We're going to have Paddy Power. We're going to have Sheldon come on real quick in a second here. I think he's getting all prepped up. But, thank you all for coming in. It says game on. And as you can see on there, we got trying to keep up with it. But, things are starting to take shape, which is great. It's fun to see. And we're going to walk through that a little bit. Got a couple other news updates we're going to walk through. So smash a like on the video. Get involved in the chat. Get your subscriptions. We are on our way to 900, then to 1,000. We could see it. We could see it. So let's do it. Let's get to 1,000 before the new season. So thank you all very much. I'm going to bring in Paddy Power real quick. Give me the thumbs up, brother. You good? Yeah, he's good to go. All right, there we go. There's Shell. Oh, he's too small. Yeah, he's too small. We got Shell's bigger than that. How you doing, my friend?
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm good.
Good. Happy Friday. Sorry, the little rough start kicking off there. I got the text messages going off. I got the
good.
But anyways, we're gonna talk about a little of the fixtures that are happening and some of the news that's up. So right there, that's the 2024-25 fixtures that are out. Looks like things are kind of slotting in place. So we'll walk through that. And Sheldon's has some mental gymnastics visuals that he's going to present to us too, which is going to be fun. So while he's doing that, I'm just going to bring up some of the news that happened real quick that just kind of broke before we went on. Sheldon, this doesn't necessarily have to do with us, but it's someone we were looking at possibly. Huddersfield Town strike a $750,000 deal for Charlton Athletic striker Alfie May. That's big numbers there. So someone we were looking at, Huddersfield Town, so I don't know. What do you think about that? Competition is steep, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of big players that are floating around to these teams is interesting. Just for my own sanity, I would prefer that we have a couple of more players in by now. When you look at the other big teams, however, considering I don't think we have a big budget for paying transfer fees. Mm-hmm. They don't seem to want to put more loans into the company to do that, to the club. So my guess is late in the season, we are going to pick from all the best players, put them on reasonably high wages, and avoid all those transfer fees.
Yeah, I think you're right. These are things that it's starting to pick up a bit, as you can see. I just want to, Drew. By the way, Drew was first. How you doing, Drew? Sup, Josh? Things are shaking up. Yeah, things are happening. And this is you, Wrexham News Network. Hi, Cheeky Brewer. And behind bars says, hello, everyone. Marie from SoCal's in the house. Marie talked about Fodcast. The Fodcast. If you haven't, I know you watched it. The Fodcast, go check that out with Tozer. That was a good watch yesterday, too. And hey, Josh and Patty. And by the way, I'm not a woman. Okay, there you go. Okay. Hey, JB65 is here, and he's ready to go. JB65, there you go. I just wanted to be clear on that. So let me do a couple news things first, and then we can hit because it'll go right into it. So this has to do with the Bristol Street Motor. So the fixtures are coming in, and I don't know if this is part of what you have coming up, but this came in. Group stage fixtures are set. Fixtures for the Bristol Street Motor Trophy stage have been set, with Wrexham set to host Salford City and Wolves under 21 before a trip to Port Vale. This is all happening again. We're starting to take shape of what the season is going to look like. The exact fixture dates and times are to be confirmed, but the Red Dragons will play Salford at home. First match is scheduled for a week commencing September 2nd. The second match day scheduled for the week commencing October 2nd. It sees Wrexham welcome Wolves. So 2 home games there, and then the group stage will conclude at Vale Park in a week commencing in November 11th. Full fixtures and details, ticketing and arrangements, blah, blah, blah. So, those are going to start ticking off. I'm hoping they don't get in the way. I think maybe like last year, I would say, I don't know if you agree with this. Last year, maybe the year before that, I'd be like, I want to go far in this. I want to focus on the league. That's FA Cup, maybe. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really don't care about these, to be honest. But let's see how it goes with the early season. If we don't do well in the first 10 matches, then all the cups don't care.
Yeah, you can just shut that down, and it is what it is. You can shut that down. And there's an Arthur Okonkwo thing I can get to in a little bit, but I know you want to share your screen and get into a couple things with the with those first games and the games you're talking about.
Yeah, I can do that if you want.
Unless you're not ready, I can go into this article. Just let me know when you.
Well, if you have news articles, maybe just let's get them done and then see how long the conversation goes.
Okay, cool. So, so this is the other one too. This is on Arthur, on his signing. That was very interesting as well. A statement signing. This came out. There's Arthur. To be clear, I'm really positive we're going to make signings. Seeing the Alfie thing happen, you want us to catch up a little bit, but it is a first signing and it is a statement of intent. But Phil Parkinson described this landing goalkeeper AO as a statement signing. He's optimistic for more quality additions to follow. He's the first new recruit, pen to paper. I know we were talking about, there's a little bit of delay, with the kits and everything like that. So maybe there's a little bit more buildup than we anticipated because, the time is shrinking for us to get things in. But, we got to be patient. He goes on to say, we're pleased that he's joined us permanently. It's a great signing for us, says Parkinson. We know that he's capable of a season because of the season he had last year. Now, someone put in the chat yesterday, and I don't know if you saw it afterwards, talking about how Arthur's is going to be our downfall. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that. How, in what way?
I believe it is. I think it's in the messages, or the left in the messages underneath the show from yesterday about Arthur.
Okay, so, but my question was, in what respect does he mean? I don't understand exactly what he means by that. There's lots of different ways to take that.
Yeah, let me try to.
Because one way to consider it is that he's not good enough, and some of the big mistakes he had show some of his weaknesses. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's only one small part to look at.
Oh, that was the Vancouver.
So
hold on, I'm trying to find it for you so I can get accurate here.
Before understanding that message, if I was going to even try and counter the idea, I would actually say potentially our downfall is not having a good enough second keeper.
So guy says you're not with Okonkwo. He's not with Okonkwo if he's poor form, predicting he'll go out with an injury before the season. Okay, so this guy is this out. So there's two comments that happened. There was a counter. Okay. Somebody said that we're gonna get relegated, and then someone came back. Arthur Okonkwo, if he doesn't get injured, we're gonna stay up. So I mixed those two up. So
Okay.
Yeah. So there was an argument going on underneath, and I read it wrong. So I think Arthur's a quality signing, and I think that he's gonna be one of our best assets coming into this season.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. With Arthur, if he goes down for a long injury, it'll really depend how close to January we are.
Yeah.
Because I cannot make the argument that Howard is good enough. I like Howard. He has done well. He's great to have in the team. My opinion is he should be number 3. Maybe he is number 3 because we don't know the order yet. But I am then nervous about our number 2 because he hasn't been giving any games yet either, and we've just come up a level.
Yeah.
So if Arthur does go, well, there's two things here. First of all, it was mentioned, if Arthur has a bad season, well, we are aiming to be mid-table. Let's not go crazy, right? A comfortable mid-table, and a lot of people will be happy with that. So if Arthur has bad performance, we don't have anyone to replace him.
Sure.
Like I don't see Howard coming in to replace Okonkwo because of poor form.
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. We lost. We had him there. They brought in Arthur last year on loan, or they would have kept Howard in there for the season. So that does say something. Now we went up a level.
Yeah.
So
so there's no one challenging that position that if you don't play well enough, you're going to be benched. So we have Luke McNicholas.
Yeah.
But he would, like, as it stands right now, I have no idea where Luke is progressing because he didn't even get one match in the last 2 or 3 last season when we were considering it, and we were already up, and we were all talking about change the team. rest some players and this. And Howard did get a match, but Luke McNicholas didn't. Now we've jumped up a season. So where is Luke? He wasn't good enough last season. So is he now good enough when we've jumped up a league?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
There's no barometer there to measure him.
Yeah,
good or bad.
we've no way to measure him whatsoever. So maybe you could chance him as our number 2 and see what happens. But again, that's a complete guess. So yes, it's our goalie situation is very dodgy if AO doesn't have a good season.
I thought that was interesting. I'm very excited about it. Going back and forth a little bit there, what's interesting. Marie from Selcott says it's Friday. Should we expect watching the HP printer tomorrow? Could be no. As anyone, and Eric says, anyone know why the IFollow Wrexham page is not working? 404. Yeah, I think they're taking it down to put it back up. That's the idea, correct?
Yeah, we discussed this the other day. My assumption is that they're taking it down because they have to readjust it to Sky Sports, who are controlling all the camera feeds. So they're going to have a completely new interface to link between what IFollow is allowed to do with regards to cameras from Sky.
Paul Wrexham says, up the town, Paul. Good to have you here. Marie says, on IFollow, Wrexham not listed. 8 clubs listed. Wrexham not one of them.
Then they're just starting. This happened last year. Wrexham was not in with the rest of the teams last year. There was a delay. So what happened last year was they were just organizing it. They were putting in the teams. So if there's teams in there already, we won't be much longer before they announce that you can sign up.
So thank you to Marie. She just put something on an iFollow here, and we'll get back to the games in a minute because we got something planned. No, I'm just telling the audience here. But the iFollow and streaming, Sky Sports Plus, the home of domestic EFL streaming, 24-25 new rights agreement between EFL and Sky Sports comes into effect, making Sky Sports the home of the EFL. 1,000 EFL fixtures live on Sky Sports via Sky now each season. IFollow club streaming services will cease to offer domestic live cup. What about global? The update comes to a 5-year plan. As part of the groundbreaking partnership, Sky Sports fans will be able to. Okay.
There we go. International. Keep on down.
There you go. This is why you read it. There you go.
Okay.
Championship. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. See, they're just starting it. They haven't loaded everybody. So Wrexham's club site isn't organized yet. Oh, hang on.
Oh, it's loaded. It had to load.
It's loaded now.
Yeah, it loaded now, Marie. So there we go. Yep. So I'm wondering, stream down, club streaming on iFollow services continue to be the home of international. Okay. All right. So we're right there. Oh, sorry, right here. And I'm wondering how this is going to work. What is it? I mean, do I dare click on this? Is this a playable?
It's all about your club. Heart, soul, tradition, a steadfast belief and burning ambition. For every new season, a new hope, a new story. Battling for points, showing guts for the glory. As the minutes go by, tensions run higher. You kick every ball as it goes to the wire. You're part of it, wherever you are in the world. From the first to the final whistle. Follow every tackle, every save, every goal. With access to live streamed games and matchday commentary, coverage spanning the globe. Get behind the scenes content, newsletters and match highlights. There is no better way to get closer to your club. And with revenue from sales going back to them, there is no better way to show your love. When you can't be there with IFollow.
Oh, wow.
Did they use the old football in that graphic? I think they did.
They might have done. Yeah, that's pretty good. I got
I just jumped on the iFollow website for Wrexham, and it is showing 404 page, not found. So Wrexham still haven't fixed their website to link into it.
They're building it. All championship matches. Okay. All right. So this is good. They're just rolling this out, and good that we're starting to get some news. I think this is good for us. Thank you, Marie from SoCal, putting it in there. Y says the only thing is concerning about Arthur is his wage, and he will affect the salary structure, locker room chemistry.
Arthur's not going to. Well, okay, the chemistry from the wages. I don't think that's going to be an issue because the other players are just going to get paid more.
Yeah, and also by the way. Also too on that, if you watch the Tozer thing, which we did with Fozzie, that group, they're checking everybody right there. They wouldn't, I think that someone would check him anyway. So, I don't know what's, I think we're going to start shedding off some of the talent that might not make it to the next step. So I don't know. So even if it is a year, who knows? But that's just my thought. But good note on that. But this IFollow thing looks great. Obviously, you can see they have a new color and everything, because last year was red. Or am I making that up? No. Anyways, that looks good.
Well, if you're talking about breaking the wage structure with Arthur, if we are not making signings in the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to break that wage structure again to get someone in later in the season.
Yeah.
Because if we're not paying transfer fees, it's going to be big wages.
Yep. Yeah. No, there you go. That's the 404 not found. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about there. All right. Well, that's good. Well, news is trickling in, which is great. We have Arthur in, and just the last article I wanted to get into, just because this came up about Max, and I know you were coming on, and this was the one about Max. I don't know if you saw this article. Rob and Ryan have a player with Premier League written all over him as Max Cleworth faces go now or stay with Wrexham's transfer dilemma. So we talked about this the other day. Okay. So here we go. Here's the article. What happened? A 20-year-old defender is a product of Red Dragon's academy system and has shown that in an era of Hollywood co-owners in North Wales, there is still a pathway for the first team of those stepping out of the club's famous youth system. Okay, there you go. The bigger picture. Max Cleworth has taken 87 senior appearances for Wrexham, helping them back-to-back promotions, and is considered to boast the potential that one day we could see him turning out in the top flight. He must decide whether that path will be trodden with his current club or by securing a move elsewhere. What Tozer said, I believe this was on the pod. Former Wrexham captain Ben Tozer, who worked alongside Max Cleworth at the Stoke racecourse, has told Ben Foster's podcast of what the future holds for the hottest prospects. Max has got Premier League written all over him. It's just whether he wants to go now or not play, or does he want to stay with Wrexham and go all the way up to the Premier League, possibly captain the club and go that route?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do if I was him. What do you think?
I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
And obviously, this isn't quite clickbait, but they just jumped on a couple of comments to make a whole story.
Yep.
But it may be true to the matter. Maybe he doesn't have teams after him quite yet.
Yeah.
But that is his situation. If he doesn't sign a new contract come January, he's looking for a new team.
Right.
And then certainly players will be after him. So does he want to stay with Wrexham? Or does he potentially want to move on and be a bench player, a squad player for a larger team?
Yep.
Go up to the Championship, try and make your name there, or stay with Wrexham and hope that in 2 years you've progressed and then you're in the Championship anyway. But I can understand if he gets the opportunity to go to the Championship, maybe he should take it.
Yeah.
Because we've already discussed this. There is no guarantee that Max will get an easy option into the team.
Mm-hmm. Also,
if we find a player that's better than him, that's top of League One, he's gonna end up on the bench.
Yep, that's very true. And also, you never know. Maybe we need money and want to make a sell. I mean, make a sale. Who knows? But this is what's next. Tozer has severed ties. He's a free agent. He will continue to keep his eyes on Cleworth development, with the youngster offering no indication as yet looking to sever ties himself with the club that has given him the break. So obviously, yeah. There you go. So interesting stuff there. Like you said, they pulled that from the podcast, and there you go. And the last one before we get into what the presentation about, this was yesterday. We didn't talk about it. I didn't quite understand this. Did you see the Dolly Parton thing? Did you see this yesterday?
I didn't watch it. No.
No. Do you want to watch it? Well,
go on. Yeah.
All right.
You may have seen my recent announcement about possibly having Welsh ancestry. Well, I was tickled to learn that, and I was even more tickled when I received a lovely gift from the Welsh Board of Tourism and Docudramas. They sent me this beautiful scarf and asked if I'd say a few words about Wales. I hope these are not written in Welsh. All episodes of Welcome to Wrexham are now streaming. Hey, now wait a minute. What is this?
Hi, Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
Who are you?
Well, Rob has been in some very successful TV shows.
Well, I know who Mac is.
Anyway, Ms. Parton, if you'll allow us to explain
Yes, you see, when we found out that your family might be from Wales, we thought, who better to help promote our docuseries about North Wales and their beloved football club?
So the Welsh Board of Tourism and Docudramas is a fake?
Yeah. Yeah, super fake. It doesn't. But the show is very real. Look.
Just classic promotion by the guys. It's clever, you know. But the end is the best. The end is the best.
Wrexham is the most special gift I've ever had in my life.
Well, that is just so nice. It makes me kind of homesick.
Oh, thank you, Dolly. That really means a lot.
You know, Miss Parton, the show's theme song is actually, it's about singing when you win. So
Hey.
I was
Don't push it, other guy.
loud and clear. Okay.
Clever stuff. You know, they probably made that in like 2 takes in about an hour. So that's pretty. That was the thing on the Dolly thing. I didn't. It's just a little promotion there that came up, but you know, again, fun stuff.
That doesn't appeal to me at all, and it's not going to appeal to the majority of people in the UK. A lot of them are going to think it's pretty cringe and call it Hollywood FC and all of the rest of it. But it has its demographic. They're reaching out to more people who don't know about the club and don't know about Welcome to Wrexham. So it's nothing new. It's a good promotion.
Yeah,
it is what it is. We have to get used to this.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't mind it at all. It's just not obviously aimed at me.
Yeah, working in this industry, that's not the worst I've seen. So I'll just, but it's interesting. But
it's cheap and quick.
Yeah, cheap. They do on cell phone right here. Bang, done. Out, done. It's easily. Their maximum effort does a good job, and more better is doing well as well. I like Max, says why. To be honest, I don't think he will become a premier level player. At most, he could be a bottom championship or League One player.
I don't agree with bottom championship. I can see the argument for not being a premier level player. I think it's going to be too late for him by the time he gets up nicely into the championship, secures himself. If he becomes a mainstay of our team, I could see him getting up to the Prem with us.
Yeah.
He's young enough. Yeah. And like in a Luton scenario, you know, where a lot of players came up with them, and you would certainly argue some of those players are not Premier League level players.
That's what they went
but
down.
They played there for the year, and they almost stayed up. They were on the razor margin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can understand that comment, and I wouldn't give it too much of a hard time. But I think lower championship, like he has a lot of time yet.
He's got to
get up to upper championship. He does.
He's 21 years old. They think about that too. And by the way, Luton was my EAFC team this year. I actually like playing with them. You got Max, so Max at 21. You got AO at 22. You got Stash at 24, or no Stash, if we're going to call him that this year. So those are 3 cores right there that we can get. Bolt's young as well. So you know those are 4 players that we can actually do well with to move forward. But I see your comment there, Matt. What the golly? I'll put it up there. There you go. Rob, right. Yeah. Very attractive. All right. Do you have a little presentation here we got going? I think you've been doing some work, which is great.
Okay. Let's
see if this works.
See if I can present this. Slides, video file, share screen.
While you're doing that, I'll Discord. I saw the man. I'll put something up about the cop, which is pretty cool. Some good pictures in there of the cop, which is
okay. There we go. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yep. I think I have. Do I have to share it? I might have to give you.
No, I have shared it to you, but you have to treat me as an extra guest. My screen is an extra guest. So
okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so basically what I did is put out the entire schedule, and I wanted to see how strong our teams were and how strong the matches were for the first half of the season, second half of the season, such like that. So what I did was I had to decide how to rank the teams first. So I did it the easy way, and I just went to the odds and the bookmakers and looked at the average across them and ranked the teams that way. Then what I did was I took the home and away, and I had to adjust for those matches because obviously it's not the same team when you're home and away. So I took our number of points that we received in our home matches versus our away matches, used that as a differential, and accordingly then ranked the home match versus the away match, and then mixed those together so that the home and away were treated as 2 different teams basically, and rank ordered them. So let me adjust this here, which
I was like, I can't move it, so you're gonna have to move it too.
I can move it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to try and find the one I did.
I wonder if we can get this bigger. Let me just there. Oh, perfect. Is that better? There. That's a
Yeah.
little better.
Okay, so it's over here on the left side. This is my rankings. So if you have a look there, we started with Birmingham City. That's a Birmingham City away, Bolton Wanderers away, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Peterborough, Charlton, Barnsley, Reading, and Blackpool. And then we start hitting home teams. So we have Birmingham City at home, Stockport County away, Bolton Wanderers at home, and so on and so forth, all the way down. And the top half is the plus points, and the bottom half are negative points. So the dead middle would be 0. And then I ran some graphs on that, which is what we'll really talk about. So this is what our season looks like. So individual fixture difficulty with our teams listed across the whole season, starting with Wycombe Wanderers, Bolton Wanderers, Reading, Peterborough, etc. And there's the difficulty in individual form.
Difficulty is the 23 there, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so the first one is -5.
Got it.
So that's Wycombe Wanderers, and then it jumps up with Bolton Wanderers to 22. So that's
Reading.
second highest. Reading, Peterborough, Shrewsbury, then Birmingham again, 23, our hardest match. And that is individually how it goes across the entire season. So you'll notice just by the way it's organized that it does kind of go up and down, up and down,
Yeah.
up and down across the season. So I don't know how exactly they ranked the teams or if they were trying to do this, but it looks like it flows quite nicely.
It does. It does.
And it seems to be very balanced across the season.
What I notice on there is there's harder games and there are easier games on there. The Readings, I think that's Leighton Orient, and Blackpool. I think. I mean, there's some, Wycombe Wanderers, Peterborough, except Birmingham to say just the start of it. I mean, Shrewsbury Town. It's not easy. I think we have a really not a hitter's row, murderer's row first couple games, but it's not going to be easy.
No, our start is actually quite reasonably tough. So yeah, it's let's count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to here. That's our top 10. Or sorry, our first 10 is not that bad. Okay, because it balances out to here. You've got easier green matches with the harder red matches. So we have Crawley Town here, -23. So that's the away Crawley Town, I believe.
Yep.
Which
red.
balances out, because look, they're expected to go down. That should be an easy 3 points. We have Shrewsbury Town, again, another team aiming to be down in the 4, we expect. So these 2 should be easy wins. These 3 are going to be quite difficult, and so on across the season. So
what I'm thinking about too at the opening opening month, the transfer window is still open. Will we have everyone in time? You know what I mean? So that's one thing.
Probably not.
Probably not. So that doesn't make it easier.
Now, the other thing to think of as well, potentially, at least for these first 2 big matches, they won't have a lot of time to get together either. They'll have new squad. They'll have new players. Birmingham has Bolton Wanderers. They'll have new players, new tactics, everything. So it can be a good time to get some of these big teams. You can potentially pull off the upset. But it's big first matches. And if you look at what happened last season, it looks like they got scared that we weren't starting well and pulled the trigger on bringing in some more players last minute last season. So that could very well happen again. If we have these first 4 matches and don't get very much, 2 draws and 2 losses, which is very possible. And I actually don't think that's a terrible result.
We lost our game last year,
Yeah.
So
I would hope to win one of these 2.
Yes.
1 win, 1 draw, 2 losses, 4 points out of 4 matches here. I don't mind that at all. That's not bad results as far as I see it.
The going up last year was 95 points, I believe. That was the winner. I think. Let me see. What was it? I think it was 95 points. That sound right? Was it League One standings? Yeah, Portsmouth had 97 points last year. 92 for Derby, and Bolton had 87 points last year.
And they ended up in playoffs.
Yep, and then the playoffs. Yeah. Then the Posh at 84. So, I mean, so 90, almost 100 points were by Portsmouth last year. Yeah,
that's why anyone's saying going up straight away. Look, I really don't see it. Now, if we can get into the playoffs and go up that way, I think that's much more realistic.
Yeah, I don't think but I think we'll go up. That's just me. But I'm optimistic. I like the end though. If you look at the end of the season,
yes,
that's not terrible.
The end of the season is actually very, very good. Now I will swap to my next chart, which makes it a little bit nicer, because that's just a little bit too rough. So this one looks nicer. So what I've done here is I've done an average over 4 matches. So I've taken the difficulty of 4 matches, put them together, and it smooths out all these lines. So you can see here the first 6. The first 3 have no results because it's 4 matches. But that's the first 6 is quite tough. Then we get a nice run of matches, 6 reasonably hard matches, 6 easy matches. So everybody talked about the first 10 matches. For us in this scenario, I actually say 12. When we take 6 more difficult matches and 6 easier matches that balance out, we'll know where we are after those 12 matches. With regards to the rest of the season. Is my expectation. But then it follows course nicely. A harder set of matches, easier set of matches, harder set of matches, easier set, harder set. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. The last 7 matches are actually a lovely run-in to finish the season. If we are still chasing something, I think this is a lovely finish.
I'm trying to look at when the holiday is. So the 14th, 21st, 26th, and 29th. So it's Bristol, Blackpool, and Wigan. Bristol, Blackpool, and Wigan. Look at that. There it is, right here. Yeah. These right here. The 11, 7, right in the middle of the green ones. Okay.
So that's Burton Albion, Wigan, Bristol, Blackpool, Charlton, Lincoln. These 6, 7.
Matt also says
and even this one, 8.
8. Yeah.
Like looking at that 8, Stockport.
Yeah.
Stockport, Exeter. Like, no, but in fairness, like Stockport, we that's the home match as well, I believe. I think, if I'm getting that right.
January. Stockport. No, I have Barnsley, Burton, Cambridge, Bristol. This is in December. Blackpool, Wigan, Stockport. We play. Oh God. The November 16th.
Is that home or away?
That's away. Where's the
home? So this one at the end of the season is home.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying it's easier. That's why it's on my list at only 2.
Yep.
Because it's a home match versus what should be a middling table because they've come up with us, our middling team. So this final run in of 8 matches, we need to get to the end of here in the hunt for the playoffs. And go on a tear for these last 8 matches.
Well, I mean, we have it in us. We got to see the signings. Matt says, "Do you think that the supercomputer prediction of 19th is utter rubbish? I'd like to see the prediction once you close all the holes in the squad." I agree with you. Yeah, you almost can't make that prediction. I mean, yes, with a supercomputer, you almost can't make that because we don't know all the teams yet. But as of right now, looking at this, there is a balance there. So.
The immediate argument there for me there is when you're talking supercomputer, you're looking at strict data, and it's not easy to have a strict metric and say they're going to buy players, and we know they are.
Yes.
And the one thing that destroyed the whole supercomputer list for me is when you look and you see Stockport, Mansfield, and not Stockport, they put Stockport higher, but Mansfield, ourselves, and Crawley Town right beside each other, all 3.
Yeah.
That supercomputer did not have a clue how to rank us, except for the fact we're new. They expect us to be weaker, but they didn't expect us to get relegated. We were just barely above the relegation. So,
yeah, and I think that propped up something yesterday. You're going to get relegated, my ass. Eric Cole says, "I think we have a consolidation year and finish mid-table, but I'm glass half I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I think we're going up. That's just me. With our current squad, we can finish anywhere between 10th and 20th. That's
Current squad, yes.
Yeah,
I
easily.
agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, the 19th. No, I'd be.
Actually, do you know what? I would actually be worried with our current squad we could get relegated. With the current squad. Now I've changed my opinion on that. I came into the start of this and I was saying the squad we have should just keep us out of relegation.
Okay. Yeah.
But the number of signings and how hard some of these teams are going at it, right now with the squad we have, I think we'll be pushing those bottom four.
I feel, it'll start taking shape. I agree.
It will. Like it's not a
Yeah.
fair question because obviously it's not going to stay like this. But I definitely and there's the point again. Anywhere between 10th and 20th, we really don't know. The team could gel and stay gelled from last season, and they could do quite well. But all comes down to how well Okonkwo does, and on the other end, how well Mullen does with whatever partner he has. Yeah. Now, at the moment, with the partners he has, that's not amazing.
Yeah, and I look at that. You look at what you just showed, and you look at this now. It, like I said, it's starting to take shape. I really want to. I don't really care about the Bristol Street Motors stuff. Fine, play the kids all day, every day. FA Cup maybe. Let's see, but I want to concentrate on the league. That's what I want to do.
But by the time like the FA Cup becomes relevant, then we're going to know if we're comfortably mid-table, but comfortably outside of playoffs. Mm-hmm. And in that scenario, yes, you can go for a nice big cup run, because look, you're comfortably mid-table. So okay, that's great. But if we're charging at the playoffs at that point, I don't want to be focused on the FA Cup.
Mm-hmm. And and that we have FA Cup, Bristol Street Motors, Carabao Cup, and the league.
Yeah,
battling on 4 fronts there.
Look, of course, it would be nice to do well in one of them. So I'm not saying dump them. You always have a go. But in the grand scheme of things, this season is more important. But a lot of these cups are coming later in the season as well. Once we get through the first couple, that's with a weaker squad anyway. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, we'll see how the league is going.
Yeah.
But if we're struggling in the league, I do not want to be concentrating on cups.
Yeah.
Unless we're comfortably mid-table. Yeah. If we're comfortably mid-table and not even worried about relegation, we're doing okay, but we're not like the higher teams are just pushing away. Okay, so be it. Mm-hmm. Push all the cups and try and win something.
Yeah, and he's not going to dump the games. A2ZEV says, did you listen to the new episode of FOD? Yes. Ben Foster's, yep, of course. In the new episode, Tozer told that our squad can easily get close to the playoffs. I did hear him say that. I think he's right. I feel like Tozer knows better than most. Yeah, go watch that. That's a really good one. We talked about it yesterday briefly. Matt Al says, I think most of the UK known players are being snapped up. We're in for one or two. What is the big unknown is overseas players. Honestly, Parkley will be casting the net further wide afield, further net field. Sorry about that. I think so too. I think there's things happening. I think he knows he's not gonna give anything up, but I think so. I think we said this yesterday. I'd like to have two players in before we leave, if we're coming here to Los Angeles, to California and Canada, Vancouver. Somebody thought I was saying that Vancouver was in the U.S., but it's not. I guess Canada, U.S. are two different places.
Yeah, this season's squad is a very different animal than last year because there's much more at play here.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to say we can't get a lower level Premiership player to come down and join us when it gets towards the end of the window. Mm-hmm. And everybody needs to decide what's happening. And some of the Premiership players are told, look, you're probably going to be sitting on the bench a lot, or maybe you don't really have something in our squad because we replaced you. We got a player who's going to take you. You don't really have a space. Find something to do. Maybe we can pick someone up at that stage of very, very high level. The other factor then as well is, of course, the loan market. Same thing as well. There's going to be certain players that from the big clubs are not going to get their space and need to go out on loan. Mm-hmm. So again, we could be in for those. So there's so many elements to this. I don't like the fact we haven't got players in, and some other teams have. But look, it is the way it is. Last January worries me because we didn't get it done in January. We said we have a lot more to do this summer, and for that reason, we would like to see a couple of players in early. But we're not even seeing players leave.
No, we're not.
Outside of the ones we left, we let go.
Yeah, and this is a good shout right there. This is from why aren't we getting Epticata? He really strengthened our back line. He was at Blackpool, 28 years old. He went to Hibs. I think he went up to Hibs. Yeah, he signed for Hibs. That would have been a good shout. I don't know much about him, but I think we don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? That he just said, there's a lot going on behind, but that's a good shout right there. Deandra says hi. Hi, everybody. How are you? We could also get players from teams battling relegation in the next transfer window. Yeah.
Which relegation?
Yeah.
Which league relegation are you talking about here?
There are rumors of that River Plate player next. I think that's where we may be looking. I did see that. That was a couple weeks ago. Is that right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to see the team in Vancouver, but the tickets are over $100 for nosebleeds. Wow! So I don't think I'm going to make it. Oh, damn it! That's a lot. Championship relegation.
Championship relegation in January. Maybe.
What? Yeah,
well, it depends on what they're doing, because obviously if they're buying in players to try and survive relegation, if they have to release someone in order to do it.
Do loan players count against the 22?
It depends on their age.
Okay, so it's an age thing. It's not a loan or a buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. No, it's all shaping up, and like those stats that you showed up there, it's tough to gauge right now because we don't know where we're at as a squad right now. Squad probably mid-table maybe, but if we do some things that I think we should do this transfer window, I think great. And like I said, we're going to battle on 4 fronts. I kind of care about 2, care about the FA Cup, and I kind of care about obviously the league, and I can let the other ones go. So when we start putting that out there, and we're never not going to go for it. I know he's going to want winning begets winning and all that stuff, but I just care about the league mainly. I want to go. I think they want to go up, and I think that's where we're at. So.
3 wins out of those first 6 matches, and we are in great shape.
Yeah,
great shape. I don't necessarily think we will get the 3, but out of these 4, if you were to take 3, sorry, 3, 2, 3, 4, yeah, out of those 6, if you take 3, so these 3. Now they could be draws easily enough. Maybe we take a draw from a big one. We beat a big one. Who knows? Yeah, but if you take 6 points out of that, that's huge in those first 6. But we could end up with 3.
Yeah, normally, probably like breaking it up. I think the managers do this. Like they break it up into little mini seasons. Okay, here's games. Great, we got to get there's 12 points in there. That's going to max at 9. Whatever, something like that, something like that. So that's probably how it's. And listen, we have a manager. We got to. We all know this. We have a manager that knows this league, how to work in the EFL, and I think his knowledge is going to be insane and help out so much this season. I think we're underestimating him a little bit. We might not like all the football all the time, but I think don't underestimate Parkinson. That's what I'm saying.
This is Parky's big season, obviously, to prove his doubters wrong.
Yes.
And to kind of get into players that he needs to show everybody, yes, he does know what he's doing, and to do it again and show face. Mm-hmm. If this goes wrong and goes badly wrong and we end up lower table, Parky will be done.
Yeah, it could be a change.
Parky gets 1 bad season.
Mm-hmm. For sure, it would never come for him. I'm going to try to do my best, at least on our shows, to not come from be honest, of course, but I want to give him his just desserts. Eric says that was a very cool chart. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, he's been working on that really hard. It's great work. It's awesome. And I'm sure too.
The other one I'm going to do with that is I'm actually going to break down the points required according to how difficult the matches are.
Nice.
As well. So you'd end up with a scenario where here you might need a 0.2 for mid-table, and you might need a 0.4 for playoffs, and then you just add them together as you go through the matches. And I know that breaks it down. You can't have half points and all this to carry on, but as you add them together, it shows you where you are in your standings, and you can draw lines and figure out where you are very, very quickly, according to average for playoffs, average for relegation, average for winning the league. So that would be interesting to say, okay, first 6 matches, how many points do we need, and where are we?
It's good data. It's good data. As we sit here, I'm thinking about this. This is totally off topic, but I think Mullen could be challenging for the Golden Boot if he's fit the whole season.
Yeah, if he gets the player in to work off.
Yeah. Well, we will see. Matt says loan players still need to be listed in the squad. Your name a lesser squad and get players after the transfer window if they're free agents. You name it, okay?
No, that's yeah. So what he's saying there is, if we do the same as we did in January, we could potentially keep a spot open in our 22, and then say we're going to bring in a free agent,
which is what he did with 40. If he was going to come back, we kept that spot open, correct? Right?
Yeah, that's what we did in January with Ford. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Carol? How you doing? Yeah, we're just doing a little chart that Sheldon put up. It's really nice.
But I really hope Parky brings in 2 or 3 under 21s. 2 or 3 under 21s that do not count in that squad list, and he challenges them to break into the first team.
We'd have to get them from the Premier League team.
From teams. Oh yeah.
Or
some under 21s.
I'd love to see it. Trust me. I want to be young. I want to be young. I mean, I want to be young myself, but yeah, I want to be young. This is about the prices, 30, 35. I mean, hey, money's money, whatever it is. Yeah, so Kim, I agree. I agree with Patty. Fans were calling for his head this season. And we got promoted. Yeah, I think we need to pull that back, and he has his just desserts to, to do what he needs to do this season. If we finish low table, will not be bad. We're not in position for another person. Okay. Oh.
I will disagree with that, Matt. Finishing low table is not the end of the world for the team.
Mm-hmm.
But if we finish low table, it's Parky's fault. That's the way it rolls.
Yeah,
it's the manager's choices, what team he chooses, what players he brings in, what players he lets go. It's all on him. Mm-hmm. Now, if the target was survive in the league, then no, it's not a bad position. He has done his job. But we all know that is not what he's been asked to do this season.
Mm-hmm.
And he, as far as we all believe, he has the money and the resources and everything he needs to get these players in.
Yeah.
So some managers will argue that, look, I didn't have the resources, I couldn't get the players, I did the best with what I have. They still get fired.
Yeah.
So the expectation for Parky is he needs a comfortable mid-table at the minimum. And that's fine,
mm-hmm.
And he will not be fired. There's no way the boys will let him go if we have a comfortable mid-table.
Mm-hmm.
If we stay mid-table and are not near that relegation zone all season, but we cannot keep up with the upper half, that's fine. Parky's safe. He will probably get another season.
Well, I think in Parky's head, I have a ceiling going up and I have a basement, whether that be mid-table, maybe the basement they think is for his, I think his basement may be the playoffs, but, we'll see. But Matthew Davis, I know it's, we'll see what happens with the squad. We will see. We'll see what happens with the squad. Hello from Wrexham, Catherine Hughes. Hello. Let's see. Josh, this could be Mull's best year too. Okay. I think it could be too. I hope he smashes 40 goals. But again, I think it's going to be what Sheldon said. Who's he going to bring in? I think even though I know Fletch is there, Palmer's there, I do think that there's going to be a nice striker signing to do that. And I like this because JM's not going to play with him. At least that's what we think. Why? If we get 2 quality center backs, 1 or 2 center mids, and a prolific target man striker, we could be maybe push for the playoff spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's an interesting comment to kind of be pushing for Mullen to get the Golden Boot. I know he could do it. I do. I know he could do it, but like, kind of pushing. Oh, he's an amazing striker. He can do it. People are underestimating what the other teams have in this league. You know, there are Mullins in lots of teams.
Sure.
Mullen is very good, but he's not God here. And I think some people put him up on way too high a pedestal. If all the team play well, then he could potentially do it. But it can't just be Mullen in this season. The entire team have to be on it. We have to bring in the players we need, and we have to be challenging for playoffs, or there's not a hope he's getting the Golden Boot.
Well, what happened last season, I think, obviously he came back, he wasn't fully fit, and then people were hot at different times. Everyone wasn't hot at the same time, so there's something to that for sure. You know, I definitely agree that. A2Z says, "Can you explain?" Sorry, you have something on that before we go there?
I was just going to say, like, it's very difficult for a mid-table team to have a striker to score that wins the Golden Boot. Mm-hmm. It's possible. I know it's possible. Like, if you have a single striker and he's scoring all your goals in mid-table, that's fine. But if he's scoring that many goals, you shouldn't be mid-table. Mm-hmm. You know, the team should be working together.
Yeah, we need Cannon to score. We need Elliott to score. Guys coming off the bench, JM to score for sure. The under 21 listed table, we'll jump to that in a second. Hello from Wrexham. We also need a smaller squad.
Yes, yeah.
Adam Cruz
come in late.
Yep. International under 21 would be good. That'd be good. This is about the Catherine Hughes says we will be fine. Phil is amazing, and he will continue to build us. No worries there. I want him to have his best managerial season too for him, in my opinion. Gibbs says people underestimate how ruthless Rob and Rye are in promotion. I agree with you.
That's an interesting comment. I was underestimating them. I was, and I changed my mind. And the reason I changed my mind was because of an interview with Humphrey.
Yeah.
And if I remember, it was the Fearless in Devotion podcast he was on, and he was discussing it. And it was I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but it was a comment he made about what's expected from the team, and what Rob and Ryan expect and what he expects. In that podcast, he did say a mid-table result would be a good result in general terms, which it is. But I think his wording was, but it wouldn't be an acceptable result. Something like that. And the way he worded it, I was like, oh, yeah, they really are pushing to have the higher results. Like, it would be a good result.
This channel is diluted with bandwagon fans, and I'm done. All right, Matt, check out. Good, you have your own opinion. That's awesome. I don't know if you froze on there. I don't think anyone's diluted. We're just walking through it, and we are fans, which is short for fanatic. And I think that is why we're here. So best of luck. Come back whenever you want. Catherine Hughes, I think he shows. Don't agree with Mull as an absolute striker. Very quick, and certainly knows where the goal is. Absolutely. Carolyn HR says as Banksy. Let's see here. Parkey has already proven himself in League One, leading 2 previous teams to promotion to the championship. That's a fair shout. But I like what you said about Humphrey there. You know, he did word it where he's like, you know, there a little bit. So I think we're getting trolled here. There is a 4-week window to submit a 22-man squad. This allows for the team to be free agents only. Bring in free agents only. Okay.
Yeah, so did you bring up that comment that you were going to go back to the question about the squad?
I think this guy?
No.
Let me see here. Parkey's already this one. I think I lost. Which one is it?
It was a question about having a 21-man squad what's the loophole versus a 22.
Yes, where is that? I think
it's a little bit higher back.
Yeah, I'm going all the way. Yeah, if I can bring it up. There you go.
Okay, can you explain how Parky only listed 21 players instead of 22? What's the loophole? There is no loophole. 22 is what's allowed. And if you choose not to have 22, it means you can sign anyone you want at any time, pretty much, and bring in an extra player. but when they're out of contract, or sorry, when they're tied in contract with other teams and the window closes, it has to be a free agent. It just gives you the flexibility at any time to bring in that free agent. So it's a choice. Do I want to buy someone now, not knowing who I really need, or do I keep an extra space? So let me give you an example where this might really help. Let's say you did only list 21 players instead of the 22, and 1 month into the season, our main striker, Mullen, goes out, and he goes out for 3 months. Okay, the transfer window is not for another 3 months. You can't do anything about it. But because you have 21 players listed, you can immediately bring in another player who's not in contract. And you just wait for something to happen. So you could use it for injuries. If you get a massive injury, teams might do that if they have a weaker squad, that they don't have backup players. So they only have a main 11. You could potentially leave one spot open in case any of your players went down with a significant injury. You then immediately replace that player, go and find yourself a free agent. So
I feel it's they're really 22 is not a big squad. I mean, it really isn't.
It's not a big squad. Yeah, it's not a big squad. But this is where they're pushing the young players, because obviously everybody has academies, and they want you to use the academy. So this is why it's 22. That's why it's that bit lower, because they want you to pull in the young talent and give them their shot. And I think the idea is if they're not getting their shot by 21, they're going to get dumped, and they'll never get to play for a team. So what this does is push you, get your 22-man squad and take another 3 players. That's your 3 young players that are around a senior squad that are getting a shot and may get a shot through injury, or by proving themselves, and then suddenly they're a main player.
Yeah, like Max is saying that too. Parky has given 3 pro contracts to 3 academy players. Yeah, I mean he's got that on his radar. I think we need more of that. This is going back to about Mullen here. Alfie May scored 23 goals last season for Charlton. He's comparable striker to Mullen. Yeah, he just went for 750,000 to Huddersfield. Right? Yeah, we said it. Huddersfield.
Yeah, Huddersfield again.
Huddersfield. Yeah. Carol in HR says, looking at who these teams are and bringing in is eye-opening. Birmingham is looking at a striker from Sparta, like 6Ms. We're playing 2 different games. Well, we don't know. We haven't done anything yet. You know what I mean? And we made. Listen, I know like AO is a huge signing. I know he was there last year on loan, but that's a big signing. It really is. I know he's a goalkeeper, but we haven't done anything yet. You know. The 22 doesn't include the keeper under 22s. I'm going to try to see who is that player. I actually want to see who that player is from Birmingham to bring in.
I'm back. Yeah. Back? Okay. I'm back. I lost internet there for a second.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't mind this being a mid-table season. That's not a problem. We may have run into a little bit of a problem with the team because of double back-to-back promotions. And this is always the case. And we've discussed this a couple of times on the show. Contracts can be extremely difficult to do because you need to bring players in for 3 years, potentially, and then you can't get rid of them when you need to get rid of them. You know, it can be a bit harsh. So we have a couple of players now that we don't really want that are on longer contracts for lots of different reasons. But going back-to-back has potentially done that and made it harder for us. And this is why it's often said that you need to have that consolidation period. And it's simply because you take one season to get rid of half your team. And then the following season, you get rid of the next half of team. And then you have replaced both halves of your team in the 2 seasons with players that are now suitable for the league you're in. And now you should be aiming at challenging for that league. So that's why people talk about consolidation.
That's a great point. I mean, and it actually makes sense, and it's not delusional.
And that's just a 2-season strategy. You could have a 3-season strategy if you're a weaker team or have less money. I would say to have a chance of getting out, you would want to have a 3-season strategy because most contracts kind of are around 3 years. So that would rotate everybody out over the 3 years, and then you upgrade whoever you need. So So we need to let go of some contracts for players that are just costing us money, and potentially they're just bad contracts the way it happened, and it wasn't necessarily bad to do it. It's just the way it worked out. You're never going to get them all perfect.
No, not everything's gonna be perfect. This is the Birmingham City are interested in this gentleman here. I think internet froze again, but Birmingham City are concrete interest in striker who would break a League One transfer record. This is a gentleman named Tobias Luritizen. He's Sparta Rotherham. He's 26 years old. So this is the player they're talking about. He's a Norwegian striker. Started his career at Homeland. So this is the guy. I don't think they have a number. So 4 million or 6 million. Yeah, $6 million for this kid. At 20 or this kid. He's 26 years old. So Rotherham recruitment has been amazing. Wish we were aggressive like that. But do you think it could backfire on them and take the players longer to mesh? I mean, they got him in early. I don't know if Sheldon froze there. I think Sheldon's having internet issues today. But I'll answer that myself. So I like what Rotherham are doing. They're doing really good. They're doing really good recruitment. Let me just back him out real quick. Sheldon, just give me a thumbs up when you're back in. I like what Rotherham are doing. I think they're doing. They made some really key signings, some really good signings, and I think there is a lot of, there are a lot of good signings in the league that are happening, and there's going to be more. So what we can't do is measure ourselves up against their transfer window so far. We need to evaluate it at the end of the window. So that's what we need to be concerned about. But, you always see I equate it to, looking at people's social media pages, getting envious of what people are doing, and equating to your life and whatever's going on. That's maybe the bad analogy, but we can't look at over the other side of the street, like, oh, this person has a better lawn. We haven't even started fixing our lawn yet. We just got the sprinkler in. We're just putting it down. We're checking it all out. So, a lot can happen. But would I want to spend $4 million on an awesome striker? Absolutely. But let's just see what happens. Let's wait it out. A lot of good content here today. I think his internet has gone pear-shaped. So I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been an hour. So thank y'all for coming in. Yeah, again, it's game on. Things are coming in, starting to happen, and starting to take shape. So we're going to see what happens next week. I'd like to get a kit announcement. Maybe there'll be an announcement for another player coming in. Who knows? There was something in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, get into it. I'll put it in our I'll put the Discord link in the chat. Actually, the Discord link should work. Thank you, Eric Cole. Thank you. Very good to see you, man. Welcome back. I know everyone's on their summer. Let me see if I can put this in the Discord so people are there. And shit. I don't know. I'll put it in the Discord afterwards. But what else? Thanks, Doug. Eric Cole. Just want to make sure I get there. I see that his internet has definitely gone out. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thanks y'all for coming in. Thank you to Sheldon Paddy Power to get putting those graphics up, and he's putting them up in the Discord, like I said. So we'll get those up there so everyone can look at it. So tomorrow's Saturday. I'll be doing the Italian game tomorrow for the Euros. The Euros are back tomorrow. I'll be doing the Italian game. That's great. Maybe I'll do on Sunday the England game as well. If I want to suffer through that, we shall see. And then if there's any news that breaks, news and updates, we are here live all the time. Smash a like on the video, and again, get involved into the chat. Subscribe if you haven't at the bottom right hand corner. We're on our way to 900. I want to get to 900 soon, and then we get to 1,000. So the quicker we do that, quicker more things can happen. Helps the channel out, as you know. So it's great stuff. So on that bombshell, I'll see y'all soon.